Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 112. In today's episode, we're going to talk about a phrase I heard throughout my life. I just recently heard it as I was working with somebody. We're talking about changing the culture for safety, all that good stuff then. So in today's episode, the title is Culture Eats Strategy for Lunch. Let's just dive right in. So just a little bit of the background of it then. So very popular saying from a management person named Peter Drucker. I'm pretty sure that all of us have heard that name at some point in time. And of course, that's a very easy to say phrase. But what it's really saying, of course, is that the culture is really going to influence the strategy. So quite a few safety folks I've worked with in the past have said, but I got my policy, I got all my procedures. I just don't understand why I'm just not seeing that much change. And not that a culture can't change, but a culture has to be ready for change. So it has to be the management that leads this change. Management has to be ready to say, I'm ready for a culture change, not just I paid somebody to put in a policy and procedures. I wonder why things aren't any better. Um, so they have to be the ones. And of course, I really wish that I could pinpoint who they is. But when you think about a president, a vice president, a director, typically somebody that controls money, time, people, all that kind of stuff, because that's what they have to give the everyday person working on the factory floor, time and money to make sure that they are operating safe. Because for the most part, if you tell folks we care about safety, but I'm not willing to pay for any training, you better not slow down. You better not press the emo on that over on that tool and shut down the factory floor. You're not sending the right signal out there. So I know that we're focused on the bottom line too. I get that. I really wish that I could always say that safety is always number one and that a company will not sacrifice that. So it has to be a balance out there then. So um, you can change a strategy, but it really has to be the top guy who's doing it then. So they have to say, all right, I'm willing to spend a little money, a little time, and they have to show it. You just can't say, but I sat in my office and I wrote a check, everything's good. They have to be the champion also. Um, some of your employees, of course, have witnessed what somebody said was going to be a change, and they never saw anything. So sometimes the employees are a little hesitant to really embrace this change. Um, so it's really important that when you sit down, come up with a strategy. And of course, in this scenario, we're really talking about how there's um, a really bad culture, and they've got to make this change. This by strategy. It typically takes 3 to 5 years to really get a good culture. Now, if they're really into it, maybe you could do it in 1 or 2 years, but for the most part, it's a 3 to 5 year cycle because because no matter how much the top person wants it, like the middle management folks, they have to buy in too, and of course it takes them some time to buy in, and then the everyday person buys in. Now, of course, it's not always a top down. You can also have a bottom up that helps too. Um, so when we sit down and think about our plans for the future, we have to look at the culture that's there. If you're really trying to change the culture by yourself with not much management commitment, this is a super slow change, and you have to be ready for that one. So that's that's everything I have for today's episode. Short and sweet. So episode number 112, Culture Eats Strategy for Lunch, is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you and have a safe day.